Hello, my name is Spec or Spectral Haunts, and I will be one of your co-players for today, tonight, whatever your time zone may be. I will be playing one private investigator, Grim Tome. I did not say detective this time. We're getting better. And I am joined this time zone by the lovely, the wonderful, the creative, the extremely patient with my curse of never starting an FPS on time,
It's okay.
the beloved.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I am Oatmeal, and today I will be playing the professor. Um, he has just gone through Dr. Crystal Everlight's Overblot in the name of that game that's very long. Um, and Yuu Au'Dienz's subsequent disappearance. The professor was the only one who witnessed that, and who could speak common, so he has had to break the news of their missing friends to several people while tending to Crystal. So he's been busy doing that.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, he's happy to do it. It's just,
Yeah,
somebody's got to, and it does, take some doing. So
yeah.
about a day after, he's confident enough to pass the job to somebody else, at least temporarily, um, because he knows he needs to tell Tome, um, but he knows his mental energy is pretty fragile, so he's gonna do it in person. So he, I think, uh, messages Tome saying, uh, I need to talk to you about something, my place or yours.
Um, hmm. I'm gonna roll a D2.
Okay. I'm gonna roll con at disadvantage.
Um, not foot. What the fuck? Tome's place.
Oh, okay. Then Professor will show up at Tome's door and knock because he doesn't have the spell knock anymore.
Fair.
Also, it only works on one lock at a time, alas.
Yeah, nope. And after you knock, there's a moment, and you just hear click, 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 click. This goes on for a bit,
Oh my God.
and then eventually click, 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 and the door opens.
Hmm.
Uh, hey there, Professor.
Hi.
Well, come on in. And he steps to the side and motions for the other end. Can I roll an insight? Can he buddy check?
Yeah, you absolutely can. He'll come in.
Eh, Okay, that's that. Where's your modifier? That is pokey clicker. That is not modifiers. There it is. Um, I swear AI has not corrupted me. I'm not saying this is a low roll. I'm strong. I'm cool. I'm sexy. That's a 23 insight.
Oh my God. Well, um, he
Yeah.
is he is visibly tired. He rolled 9 on for con. Um uh and he kind of looks a little disheveled, like he might have been doing something, some physical activity or whatever. Um uh and say less upbeat. You doubt that the thing he's going to talk to you about, with that um, exact demeanor and expression, is is a happy one.
Good.
So
Okay. Oh boy. Tome just kind of glances at him. Should I make some coffee and tea?
yes, please.
Yes, it seems like that's going to be one of those conversations. All right. And you see him walk down the hallway. I actually have a picture of this now.
Mhm,
Let me launch that. I can
mhm.
actually show what it looks like now because I modeled it in game.
Yay. Okay.
Hey, you get the this way can. Hi there, baby. Can I help you? I'm sorry, I have someone trying to get my attention. Please
It's
let me go
okay.
back to the FPS. Please, 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 please. This is the request.
Boo,
Okay, fine.
please.
You can hop on my lap. Hop on the lap. Oh, so now you leave when I back up. So done with you some days. Come here. Hop on the
Cats.
lap. Hop on the lap.
Masters of
Come on.
reverse psychology.
You know what? I'm picking you up. You don't get rights anymore. Okay, it is almost unloading.
Mhm.
So rooms. Okay. Okay, so this is the hallway I'm grabbing right now,
Mhm,
which is very bare.
mhm.
Okay, it did not screenshot, so you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna stream,
Okay.
and I could describe it for all our people who aren't live, but for the people who are live, they get to see it.
Mhm.
So this is gonna be the hallway. He walks in and he starts to go
Oh.
down towards the right,
Uh-huh.
and he's up taking you towards the kitchen.
Huh.
And he walks over to the side and he starts making a pot of boiling water.
Mhm,
It's a his room, his entire place is very dark.
mhm,
It's a bunch of black cabinets and wall space.
mhm,
But he does seem to be taking care of it decently.
mhm.
At least
Was
now.
Yeah, I have to ask, because he did check up on him that one time. Was it like did it look approximately like this the last time he was here?
It looked approximately the same. It's if anything, it looks a slight bit cleaner.
Okay, fair
It
enough.
looks like he's doing better.
Okay.
Um, he walks over and he goes over to the stove and grabs a teapot and starts boiling it and grabs 2 cups and then he walks over to a different corner
Mhm,
of the kitchen where he starts brewing some coffee.
mhm,
Okay, so is this going to be a talk now or a talk while we wait or while we eat while we drink? Uh, this doesn't seem like it's going to be a happy conversation, so I'm just trying to figure out how we need to go about this.
mhm. He's kind of leaning against the counter, um, doesn't quite seem certain himself. Um, I well, I don't know if you heard that uh Crystal Dr. Crystal Everlight um uh overblotted.
Tome frowns and glances over. I am not. She doing all right now?
Yes, she's okay. She's okay.
Okay.
She's she's at the lighthouse.
Okay. And you isn't blaming himself too much about it, correct?
He winces. He can't help it. Uh, um, I don't think so, but
Okay, good.
well,
I worry about that boy.
yes. He does kind of raise an eyebrow.
Yes. Does not seem like he's handling the whole turn to tune part very well. At
Hmm.
least based off when I talk to him.
Talk to me
He's
about
not
that. He, I spoke with him once I was able, um, and he didn't. Well, I asked him what had happened recently, and he. It took him a bit to recall, and he mentioned that he talked to you, but he couldn't remember about what, and said that he didn't think it was wise to poke at that.
Oh, that would likely be because I talked to the real you. Uh, gods, I don't even know where to begin explaining that part.
Wait,
Uh,
and hang on, no, I mean, I sort of know. Well, the real
okay, you
you
do?
is in what?
You do?
Well, yes,
Okay.
uh,
Oh,
I,
yes, your letter. Gods.
I think I was the one to figure it out. To be,
Have that around here somewhere. And you see the kitchen to head towards his room where he's disappears for a second before coming back with a familiar letter with a piece of tape
mm,
on it.
oh,
Yeah, here it is.
oh, I'm glad you got a copy. Yes, that, yes. Um, it, the real you is in ink space, which I don't know how you know that now, but I
Well,
suspect he's at the bottom of the ocean of ink. I figured it made sense since he's uh, he's terrified of the depths of the ocean.
you see a little dot appear above Tome's head and a little sweat drop on the side of his head. Well,
Uh,
I can confirm he's down there.
uh-huh.
Um, he's specifically in a room down there.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Well, that's good to know. How, how do you? Did he tell you that?
No. Tome is staring very intently at the tea. Tome voice, shit, I'm in trouble.
He squints and just says, he points to his temple. Did you use that thing?
Yes and no.
You're not going to get in trouble with me, although I am a little. I told him to be careful with you because I told him you had a thing. I try not to give him too many details, but I told him that you had a telepathy thing. Because when it came up, the subject came up.
Yeah, I listen. He was careful, and I asked beforehand, and I was very careful, and I
Okay.
even got through it without any nosebleeds.
Oh, well, that's great.
Just see, I'm doing better at this.
Okay.
Um, no, the reason I that just allowed me to see through his eyes.
Hmm.
The reason I know where he is because I may have gone there.
And how did you put ink? Tome? But you have an overblot, you're not immune.
Well, I guess I am.
The-
Tome Tome just gives a little shrug.
I don't. Uh,
I'm not overblotted.
Tome, you know it takes time for these things to develop.
I can hear the professor wanting to strangle him in that one. Okay, listen, I don't have any signs of it even starting to develop. Trust me, I'm quite certain you would have been able to pick up on that.
Ah, but he's not really. But He's not. Normally,
Yeah,
yes, but he's
fine.
not really.
If I do end up overblotting by some horrible happenstance, which I very likely don't see happening, I don't really have anything to overblot over based on what I've been told about it, then you can be first in line to smack me upside the head.
I don't. Professor just does a sort of like double take, like what sort of face? Like, what do you mean you don't have anything? I if I if I had to go through everybody I knew in contact with you, who I would be most worried about getting infected, I think, and I'm taking a second to actually think it through, but I'm pretty sure you would be on the top of the list.
I'm not that bad.
Uh, you uh forget it.
Hmm,
He runs his hand through his hair and starts to pull at it like he does when he's
stop
stressed
it.
out.
Stop it. Stop it.
Mm.
Ugh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Seriously, I'm fine.
All right, all right. Well,
Like I said,
okay.
if
You went.
anything, trust me, I would notice. Isn't there supposed to be some side effects if you get it? Some change in behavior?
Um, maybe not at first.
Well, it's been like, what? Out of character. How long has it been? Been like a week
It's been like
ish?
a week. It's been approximately a week
It's been about a
ish.
week. Surely something should have shown up by now.
Mm, I don't know.
Would I have let you into my house if I really was worse?
He does frown a little bit. Mm, maybe not.
Exactly. See, you're worrying over nothing.
Look,
God,
I'm
the
concerned
bar
that
is low whenever I'm the one who's taking this calmly. I'm
with your
sorry,
design,
Professor.
with your design, I wouldn't. It would be hard to tell. You're already that you've already got.
There's a wince. I would tell you, Professor. I'm, I promised you I'd do better. Okay?
Okay.
He fidgets with the tea kettle as it starts to whistle and pours some in a cup for Professor and hands him a tea bag as he
Mm,
starts to get his own coffee together. I I promised you. I gave my I pinky promised on that.
yes. Yes. I know. Yes. Thank you. All
Mhm.
right. Okay. Okay. So you went there. And you found him, and you talked to him.
Yes, poor kid. Scared of me. Can't blame him. I was quite the asshole towards him initially, but
Mm,
he was calmed down, and I got him to agree to hold on until we could get to him,
that's good.
or until you all could get to him.
Mm, right. Uh, and then he said something about Juby also being there.
Well, yes, before I did put the ink in my eye, as you so were upset about, I actually contacted Jubilee.
Ah,
This way, if something did go wrong, you guys would know about it instantly.
that's great.
Yes, see, such low expectations for me, I swear. Now, there is a small
I-
smile at that. Like, he knows the bar is low for him, so that is a bit teasing.
Uh-huh. Ah, all right. Well, I'm glad for that. Um, and well, when I talked to him, and like I said, he had a bit of trouble remembering that, which makes sense. I mean, it does seem like the uh, tether between um, the U in Inkspace and uh, mm, the one here.
Yura,
I'm sorry.
the one in Inkspace. His name is Yura,
Oh,
not you.
huh. All right. The tether between Yora and you, as I suppose he's continuing to be known.
Yeah,
Um, mm, um, is mm, it's hard to tell if it's growing a bit thin or if they're merging too much. Um,
it's complicated based off what I could see.
yes, I
It
should say so.
was a distant connection. That's if I could
Mm,
best describe it.
mm. Well, he well, we did manage to work on a bit of a plan that we had been putting together.
Tome kind of perks up at that. You did?
Yes. Um, I we figured out that there um uh was a way to use blot energy in a way to expend it without um uh, hmm, to a way to sort of get it out of him um without it doing as much damage. Or well, I mean, frankly, getting it out of him is supposed to be impossible, but if you can use magic and harness the blot for it, um then he could burn some of it. The
You could
problem
slowly
is
get rid of it.
yes and no. um
I can
the
help.
issue, well, the issue is that when he uses magic, or when magic comes in um, to that room on his neck, um, and he pulls his scarf down to gesture.
There's a
Um,
nod.
that it burns every time. So, and he's uh, close. It's not in a good state. It's eh, if it gets
I,
too
I,
bad,
that makes sense. I saw how his true form was looking.
ah, the whole goopy the skeleton thing
Yes.
with the mask.
Out of character question. The mask?
Professor, when he uses true sight on the puppet, sees a mask.
Okay. For clarification, audience, Tome did not see a mask, correct? Because he saw it through Yura's eyes. The spec is making sure I have all of the dots connected.
I think you are correct,
I
but
do not want to give misinformation when the boy is on the.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Nom, 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 nom.
Professor voice. Yeah, yeah. The mask, the puppet strings. We've all seen them.
You know, the ones you see. Okay. Tom kind of frowns and raises his eyebrow. Mask? No, there is no mask.
Oh, huh. Maybe that's a difference between Yora and you?
Would make
Uh,
sense. You is simply wearing Yora's face.
well, in a manner of speaking, his mask doesn't have any features, no emotion in it. It's blank.
That's because it is just a puppet controlled by Bradley.
Yes,
There's
yes.
a bit of very not even thinly veiled hostility in those words.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, the strings, of course, and when his eyes go yellow.
Hmm.
What was I saying? Oh, we came up with a plan. Okay. So yes, it would be an issue, if he, used too much magic, expended it, he could be hurt. So we thought of, um, he knows a very powerful healing spell, um, in that works in the mirror. It also works here, but it's from the mirror. It uses uh, old trade, which I think I might have briefly described. He gestures to the letter. Um,
Hmm.
but it's extremely powerful, and it's sympathetic magic, so you can twist it in different ways to make it do what you want. It doesn't. It's not like spells here where they more or less come out, you know, the same, maybe with a twist here or there for a flair or a person's personal magic, but they generally mechanically do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
if you do it properly. This is like that. So it's this song, um, that you can use in its original use, is used to um, draw energy from this flower that's supposed to be super magical. It's, I don't know, distilled sunlight or something like that. Um, but it takes um, power from that and uses it to heal somebody, and it can heal uh, an incredible amount. So we thought if he can cast that while he's um, well, you've got to sort of build up to the Overblot. He does have to Overblot eventually. But if we can do it in a way where he's casting that at the time, then he can just draw healing energy into himself, from the plant life around him, and hopefully essentially be healing himself at the same time as the room is hurting him. It's close. It's not ideal, but we don't know I really have anything better. And he estimated that it should work. And we did test it. It took a bit
You
of,
what?
we tested it.
Wouldn't that mean he'd have to be using magic that hurt him?
He tilts his head.
You,
Uh,
if it goes wrong, it would hurt him because
it,
he's using magic. You said if he uses magic, it hurts him.
yes, but only a little bit, and he wanted to.
Okay, continue.
I'm sorry, it was one of those things where, look, I wouldn't have recommended it. Okay, maybe. Look, it
Just
was
continue,
okay.
Professor.
All right. Um, we worked on a few different iterations, and on the third one, we managed to alter the song. Well, he worked on the lyrics, and I helped with the melody. Um, alter the song so that it was able to A, actually harness the blot energy, and B, actually pull uh, life energy from a plant to heal him, the caster. And it worked, and he felt better.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good.
So that's at least one component of uh, what we probably need to plan to do for his eventual overblot. He refused. The reason I say plants, it's not just because of the original spell. Um, if he could warp it, if he wanted, I'm sure, to work on mm, fauna, say, including people. Um, but
Yeah, that's
he,
not ideal.
no, and he refused it anyway. It goes against his personal moral code.
Tome kind of smiles at that.
So we do need to find somewhere that's let's see, sunny, because the blood is weak against the sun. Has plenty of plants. Um, they will probably shrivel and die, but I we've been over it. Uh, we'll just plant something there later. He
Yes,
really is
agreed.
very empathetic.
That's
Um,
good. Yeah.
yes. And away from a water source would be ideal because the last thing we want to do is get blob in the water.
Yes, no, that makes sense. I will keep my eye out, but I'll be honest, I probably will not be the best of help. Most of my knowledge, while I do have a lot of knowledge of places, it tends to be more abandoned locations where there's just as much rock as there is plant life.
Mm.
Also, a lot of it tends to be near water.
Ah, well, he did suggest Jubilee, so I'll
That would
make
make
sure he
sense.
gets that notice.
Jubilee is very good at that, actually. I'm
Mm.
quite proud of how well he's gotten at being able to handle exploring on his own.
Mm.
Quite the little nature boy that one is. Which is funny, you would not think that at first glance. Looks like he'd be a city kid.
Yes, I didn't know he liked nature.
Eh, bird boy. What do you expect?
Ah, well, unfortunately, it was not the developmental plan at Christmas Overblot that I came to talk to you about specifically.
Then what was it? Did something happen? Uh, please tell me Camille's not in trouble again.
No,
I swear if that kid.
mm-mm, no, no, no,
Okay.
no.
Jubilee?
It's no, no.
Leo?
He helped with the Overblot, but he's fine. You,
Oh,
how
okay.
much? It just I don't know. Keep an eye on his temper. It got a little out of hand. Um,
Did?
it did.
Leo?
Yes, Leo.
That's
I know.
concerning.
Yes. I told him we'd
Mm,
talk about it, but haven't got the
yes,
chance.
I'll make sure to reach out to him as well.
Mm. Um, so well, it actually, no, it's related to the Overblot case. Um,
Oh, uh,
at the end of it, um, eh, the remaining blot ink pool didn't evaporate or drain away or go away like it's supposed to.
Oh, that's not good. I'm guessing that means things are getting worse.
Yes. Um,
Hero's probably not handling that well.
you see him wince again. No. Um,
Poor kid.
uh, the others were, he wanted to, I needed to, he wanted to talk with me. I sent the others ahead to get Crystal somewhere safe, warm. Um,
Good.
he, all right, where is my goddamn, I forgot that I would need to have a document open. I don't have it. Fuck. Where? It's just gonna be a lot easier if I just grab my phone. Can you give me a second?
Yep, you're good. I'm
Thank you.
killing the
I'm
gallery for
sorry.
being a bunch of the gallery's being a bunch of bitches right now to me
Okay.
specifically. They're
All
bullying.
right. All right.
I am this is a serious moment, gallery. No, please keep the jokes. They're keeping me alive. They're keeping me alive. Please continue the jokes. Please continue the jokes. But holy shit, I'm losing. Oh my gosh.
All right. I'm back. I'm going through my shit. I was
You're
looking at it
valid.
yesterday. Okay. It is right here. Right. Right. Yes. Okay.
What?
Hmm?
Continue. Sorry. The gallery.
Not right now, gallery. Please. I love you, but please.
I am clicking away because the
No.
information just gave me. Continue.
No.
Serious
Yes.
moment. Serious moment.
Yes. He was he passed the items that result from the overblot over to me. Um, and
Mhm.
he looked scared. Uh, he said he can't move, that the blot wants him back, and he didn't think he could stay very long.
Tome places his cup of coffee down. But you made him stay, right?
I I don't think I asked how I would get in touch with him then. He said he doesn't think he can. Um, and before I could do anything, the um, pool of blot reached up and grabbed his ankle. Um, he said he'll he said it's pulling too hard. He'll try to be back soon, and he's sorry. And he melted into the ink, um, and the pool evaporated.
I need a perception. This
Yes.
is not going
So
the way I thought it was, by the way. This is the what's about to happen is not how I thought it was going to happen.
I'm interested.
It's
Oh, okay. Um, well, he is rolling at disadvantage. Um, Perception is an 11.
You do not see anything change at first.
Uh-huh.
Um, all you see is Tome's gaze hardens,
Mhm.
and the room gets a bit darker.
Mm.
So let me get this right, Professor. You have come here, okay, to inform me of this whole situation, to let me know the plan you had hatched, spent time talking with me about it, only to inform me that your plan means shit because you got the kid lost.
I didn't get him lost.
Oh, then please do explain what happened, Professor.
I told you it took him.
Did you try to stop it? Or did you
I
stand there?
I didn't know how. What would I have done? What, jumped into it?
Grabbed his hand.
He's It would have come off, Tome. His body is practically dead.
But you would have at least tried something.
I am not going to try something I know is futile.
Then why are you even sharing me this plan? You straight up told me you have no idea how you're going to contact him. We have no idea where he is.
He's in ink space. Where else would he be?
Oh, and how are we going to get there, Professor?
How people always get there.
Do, an overblot?
No, don't be ridiculous. The ink in the eyes. Same thing you did.
Do you have some of that?
Personally, I think I used it up. I think Crystal still has a
Oh,
sample.
God. Crystal better have a sample. So help me, gods above, Professor. For your sake, Crystal better have a hand left.
I mean, if she doesn't, we could check his apartment. Kind of, it's kind of got all of the stuff over it. He was telling me about his bathtub.
It's bathtub. It's bathtub. Okay. 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 Deep, deep, deep breaths, Tome. Deep breaths, Tome. Deep breaths, Tome.
Professor looks tense.
Tome looks fucking furious.
Uh-huh.
This is the most livid you've seen him in a good while.
Mm.
So I'm going to make sure I have all the information correct.
Oh, this feels familiar.
Oh, how so?
I remember. Uh, After I got Leo, um, got Leo, the thing happened with the mournful Azamar.
Oh, yes, whenever you sacrificed yourself and threw yourself back in time and
Oh,
scared
well,
the
that
shit out
happened.
of me.
Yes, that I did do.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm glad the opposite direction from you doing too much to doing nothing.
He's just quiet.
God, sorry, Professor. Yes, let's just go over the facts.
Mhm.
We have a plan
We have part of
that correct. We have part of a plan that is rapidly falling apart for our eyes due to a mix of lack of resources and lack of keeping track of the point of these plans. We have multiple people who have some semblance of knowledge. We have a like an absolute. There is not enough words in the common language for me to describe that man. We have whatever I shall refer
what?
to Crowley as and Grolix later,
Oh,
messing with the locks on you,
who?
Yura. Oh gosh, you don't know about those, do you?
No.
He
I mean, I
has
normally doors have locks.
no, it's not the door has a lock. I already opened that door.
Oh,
Yes, I opened the door at the bottom of the sea. I did that already. No, he has locks on Yura's coffin for each of the overblots.
he's
It,
coughing.
yes, what that's what Yura sleeps in. A coffin filled with ink. He's not actually in the water.
Hmm.
Gods, you made the plan. We are okay. No, he didn't know. Didn't know. We didn't. Did it? I'm gonna roll something.
Mhm,
How do you handle this? Okay, you're doing good. You're doing. His hand tightens into a fist, and he just leans against the counter.
mhm,
He does not punch it. He's
mhm.
doing great. Doing great. Um. Okay. 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 Wonderful. 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 Okay. Okay. Is there any other information I probably need to share with you before we even begin recounting what absolute little of an idea we're going to do to keep this kid alive?
Uh, did have you been to the interview with Crowley?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, so that's how
That
you wait. How do you know he was messing with the locks then?
because I fought the man. Okay,
It, you that
it, it was not a complete fight. I don't wait. Character, did he punch him? I don't remember if he did. Sorry, the gallery said he punched Crowley. No, he did not. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, he did not. Um. Okay. Yes, Jubilee took over it because I will admit, after the situation with Ivan, um, I
mm,
am trying to do better about anger, and
mm,
I I stabbed his hand,
oh, all right.
and then nothing happened. It went through.
Oh,
Yes, and then I got hold personed, and I wasn't able to do much anyways.
oh. Well, at least we know he has that. Huh.
Yes,
What was he doing with the locks? Because he wouldn't have been
he was
opening them.
fixing one. I managed to unlock
Oh,
Minime's and Jubilee's since I had those keys on me, and I unlocked
oh,
his, but he redid his. I guess since he hasn't overblotted like you all planned.
uh, redid y- Yora's lock.
Yes, I got rid of it, and he just brought it back.
Okay, but the other locks are
Yes, they're gone. I got two in a
they
dozen of
correl
locks.
okay, they correlate to the other overplot. How many did you say?
At least a dozen. There was more than the ones that have happened
Mm,
here in Inkwell.
Okay. Let's see.
So, which
The
was a whole
servant
different
has a ring
problem.
of keys.
The servant who's being controlled by Crowley.
Yeah, well, it's not. He's not.
It's a
We
puppet,
don't.
Professor.
Yes, yes. I'm not asking him to help. I'm saying we can get the keys from the other overblots from him. I mean, I'm sure if we asked to help, he would.
Would he?
Yes. I mean, you know that he's. He
He
has
has
to
to
do whatever you say,
command.
right?
Yes, but if Crowley gives a directly opposite command than us, who do you think he's going to defer to?
No, probably Crowley.
Exactly.
Well, all right, so then we need to steal it. We know plenty of thieves.
Yes, yes, plenty of feeds. Let's try and steal from the being who has control over the location we're in. The plan is getting better by the second, Professor.
He just takes a deep breath. Well, I apologize. I am working with information that I am getting as I am just trying to work with it.
Yeah. Yes, fine, fair.
um, I don't know. How did you get out? Was that
He
some?
cast me out.
Oh,
He cast us both out.
oh. Well, I guess we can't count on that to happen again.
Quite the opposite. We definitely do not want to get cast out again.
Hmm.
If our supply is as limited as you imply it is, we only have one chance. Oh God, we only have one chance. This is going great.
Wait, what supplies?
Well, the
Oh,
ink.
oh, all right, all right. No, that's that's if um, that's well. I mean, you could
I
probably make it
mean,
grow by giving it magic.
oh,
I think.
Professor, I swear you already have me on the thin edge. If you no, do not even imply that, because I already know you're going to imply that your magic should be the one to give it up because you're. Ugh.
Not what I was going to say. No, I was speaking about the experiments that Crystal and I both did on used blood.
You.
And
Oh God. Oh God.
with permission, I'm a scientist. This is how I help.
Okay. Okay. Can I get another perception?
Absolutely. Oh, disadvantage. Right, that's a 10. I'm gonna take out my mouse because it's not working. I'm gonna use the trackpad. You can still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Good, good, good.
I am.
Right.
Yep.
That is a 10 total.
Tome just takes in a slow, deep breath. Yes, it makes sense. Okay. Continue.
Mm, okay. Um, we know that the blot um, absorbs magic, and so uh, naturally, a experiment to run on it would be to give a piece of it a little bit of magic and see what it does. Something simple, uh, cantrip.
Mhm.
Oh, and off the top of my head, I don't remember what it did. Oh,
Oh, you.
I'm let's see if I look up the word in here. No, no, no. No, not that. All right.
The gallery is reaching a hand out towards you in case you need it.
Yes. Yes. If I find it first, then I find it first. If not, help appreciated. Where my DMs? Where? There you are. Oh wait, what if I? Nope. Okay, here. There either.
The gallery said, just
Oh,
let them know
yes,
it and can
please.
unmute and share. Yes, please.
It's like the one thing I didn't have written down. Thank you.
No
Thank you.
worries. You guys are doing so great, by the way.
Thank you. We're fighting. We're trying.
You're doing amazing, and I'm loving every minute of this. Um, so this is like we're going over the details of sort of what Prof and Crystal's
Mm.
experiments turned up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the experiments turned up that the blot ink is words. The blot ink, specifically the ink that is found in Yuu's blood, but also just in general, they wouldn't know that it's just in general because obviously they don't have a sample of unfiltered ink, but the ink, as it is like you said, very reactive to magic. If you use magic around it, it will try to consume that magic energy, causing spells to fizzle out or to not work as intended, especially healing spells. Anything that creates any form of energy, like a light spell or a healing spell, will get swallowed. And then the second thing that they found was that it has a weird sort of density. The the way that it interacted with the blood that it was suspended in was that it separated. It floated on the surface, which was strange. And then the third thing that separation allowed you to take a look at was the fact that the ink consumes organic material. Flesh and blood, plant life, anything it can get its hands on that is living, it will choke the life out of and then consume any of the physical material that's there to make more of itself. Specifically, the sample that Professor had from Crystal, over time, the blood in that vial would eventually be gone, as it would use basically any type of energy you gave it. Kinetic, heat energy, magic energy, any kind of energy you gave it. It would use that to wear down and break down and basically digest the blood that was in that vial until all that was left was the ink, because it was using the physical material of the ink or of the blood to make more of itself. And I believe you mentioned that Professor had experimented with sort of how it interacts with plant life as sort of a stand-in for how it works with organic matter. Similar situation where when introduced to plant life, the plant life rapidly withers and dies, with the dead plant eventually crumbling away and melting into ink as the Overblot ink does its level best to make more of itself. It's a parasite, baby. That's what they do.
Yes. Oh, okay. That all sounds familiar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys are doing amazing. I have had to bite my pillow several times. I'm gonna go
I'm
lay
glad
back
you're
down now.
doing. Go lay
Okay.
down.
Okay. Yeah. So Professor explains. You just need to give it a little bit of energy. Doesn't even need to be magic, to be honest. Uh, Heat, uh, light, uh, and it will consume it and grow.
Okay.
So yes, I do. I don't know what to do with the current situation. I had a plan for the old situation, but things have changed. So this is why I've been telling everybody. I decided to tell you in person because I didn't think it would be a good idea to do otherwise.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, really. Who else knows?
Oh, um, I think just about everybody in the Leighton house. Uh, so Leo would have told Camille. Uh, let's see. Me and Jubilee are they've overplotted, so Jubilee would have told me. Probably by now. Uh, I there was something about druids. I don't know that group. I think
Neither do I.
um I don't know. As for the others, I don't know who all was involved. He had kept that he was trying to keep their identities secret as much as possible. He did slip a bit, so I know more than he probably wanted. Um,
Oh, that makes sense. For
but
their sake, if anything.
mm, right. But uh, at least I basically told. Leo had said he'd been in there before, so I told him and Jubilee to just spread it to whoever needed to know. The Crystal, of course, knows. Well, I mean, he winces. Like, I mean, I waited to tell her. Obviously,
I
post
see.
Overplot is not a great time, but
Yes.
is there anybody else who needs to know? Dyer. There's Dyer, of course.
That's I don't really know who's involved, so everyone you list makes sense. It's more of just so I know who to talk to about this and who to not share information with. You can share anything that I've given you, by the way, with the others if I don't get to yet.
Hmm. Yes, I think Jubilee might organize something. I don't know. I was a bit busy. He's looking at Tome and oh, he's trying so hard to read him, but uh I don't think he can. I'm gonna roll insight, but
Insight. Yep. It's insight at this point.
yeah. All right. Better than I better than average. He does have a. Forget if I said on recording. He does have a point of exhaustion. So he is
Yeah,
rolling at
no.
disadvantage.
Yeah,
Um,
he's suffering.
Yeah, he got a 15.
Tome just looks really tired at this point.
Mm.
Just drained of all energy as he just nods. All that fiery anger has just gone away.
Mm. Mhm. Are you mm, mad at me?
No, no, and I shouldn't have been in the first place. It was easier to get mad at you at this moment than the situation, which I have no control over, which I do apologize for. I should not have lashed out at you.
He relaxes a little bit. And now?
No, I'm not mad at you now.
Well,
Just thinking about what we need to do.
okay. Why were you visiting him? Out of curiosity.
I wanted to apologize. I
For
witnessed the interview and I
ah,
realized I'd been too harsh on the kid. I
I see.
blamed him for what happened to Jubilee and Minami, and I had made it quite clear that I did not like him.
Ah,
Something which was not fair to the kid. So
Mm.
after I talked with you, I decided one of the first ways I could start by doing better is to start making sure instead of hurting others when I was hurt, that's something which, as you can see, I'm still not the best at. I would try and help them instead.
mhm. That's good.
Hmm.
And I don't blame you for getting mad at me.
Well, let's be honest, you're mad enough at yourself for both of us.
He does sag a little bit. You got it right on the nose.
I know you very well, Professor, because you and I are too alike in some of the worst ways sometimes, I swear.
But why? How did the how did the uh, telepathy thing come up? Was it just an accident?
He, I, how he was acting reminded me a lot of myself when it came to my condition.
Mm.
But he was having trouble communicating, so I offered instead to try and see things through his eyes.
Hmm.
Well, whenever I poked my head in there, which gallery, please correct me if I'm misremembering that, because I will admit Tome has 50 million thoughts right now.
I just listened to it. I can tell you it was originally about why can't you see that this room is black and white?
Okay, that one. But then sorry, quick retcon then.
Hmm.
The room was the wrong color, and well, especially I was also concerned regarding if he had a similar condition to mine, especially since he couldn't seem to see the world correctly. I figured that was a
Hmm.
sign of depression, but
Hmm.
I figured if I looked through his eyes, I would be able to tell if it was something regarding him physically that was stopping him, or
Hmm.
if it was emotionally, like I expected.
Mhm. What do you mean it was the wrong color? It looked fine when I was there, and it couldn't have been uh, more than a day or so after.
The whole place was black and white.
It
The only color was around me, where it was this highly oversaturated orange that washed out any other colors.
it oh, but so then why it didn't even look saturated when I was there. It just looked normal, same as it's done.
Oh, we got a slight correction from the gallery.
Uh,
Please. I do not need to be spreading misinformation.
nope, we are chill. Uh, we appreciate the corrections. Extremely helpful.
No, it's not.
The human memory is not reliable.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
Okay. Um, Tome would have correction. Tome would have clarified that it was intense saturation. Sorry, I thought it was orange.
mm,
And he wouldn't have said orange. He would have said even intensely saturated.
mm.
Instead,
Uh-huh.
it was like everything got dialed up to the max. But it only was stuff I interacted with and stuck close to me.
Mm. Uh, just his apartment, black and white.
It actually it leaked outside to his apartment door.
Mm.
But yes, in the room that he was trapped in
Mm.
mentally wasn't like that.
Huh. I first of all, I believe you, but I'm just baffled. I don't understand why. Was it because no, that doesn't make sense. My true sight doesn't. The range doesn't.
My guess, because he's a Toon professor.
What do you mean?
Toons, and gallery, correct me if Tome figured out if it was something else, but um, Toons affect the world around them, not just the other way around. I'd understand if you assume that, considering you've interacted so much with me, a person who is a Toon who's more affected by the background than affecting the background, but
Oh, I've
you
seen you
can.
affect the back.
Professor Voice thinking about 5 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kind of blinked. Huh. I did not realize I had done that. But my assumption is it's because Yura doesn't really see much color metaphorically. Things have become black and gray, black and white, just saturated. It's Yura's depressed. Simple as that.
Oh, well, that makes sense. It. mm, Could I not see it just because I was a real kind?
No, it was probably depends on the intensity. I don't believe Jubilee had the same effect as I did. So it depends based off person.
Wait,
And
but he's the one who the room. Sorry, I'm a little lost.
yeah, no, I understand. It's tunes are. One second, the gallery's typing. I'm making sure I'm not miscommunicating. Yeah, I have a character I don't think Jubilee noticed either.
Nah, he just busted in.
Jubilee voice. You, what the fuck happened? Sorry, I that was copyright.
You're fine. You're fine. Mm, mhm.
Okay. For example, when Jubilee came in, all the color returned.
I don't think Tome. Does Tome know that?
Well, Tome would have woken back up there with all the color returned.
All right. Fair enough.
So
Okay.
he
Oh,
wouldn't know that he wouldn't know it exploded, but he would
right.
have known that Jubilee's presence had a notable effect.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
So
I think I
if
did.
it is,
I think I did. I don't know. I thought there was some trick of the light when I came in. I
uh,
thought I was. I don't know. I thought the lights flickered or something.
it definitely something that takes a good eye.
Hmm.
It helps if you know to pay attention to stuff like that. Think
Right.
Toon Detective. It's my job to look for
Oh,
stuff like that.
absolutely. As much as I try, you've got a lot more practice in that department.
Will help you eventually. And there's um, the slightest twinge of his lips.
Hmm. Okay. Well, aside from my interrogation, is there anything else um, you need to know? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you.
No, I'll probably get all the information um, if I decide to help with this.
Hmm. I, I think I think you would appreciate it, but if
And I
you're
guess I can.
able, all right. Have Have you been all right?
Uh, yes. I
I mean,
talked to the
you
thief.
just sort of, what?
Yes. Insert recap of FPS as it
Mm-hmm.
happened. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a magic time skip.
Oh boy.
Skip past that conversation.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
post that conversation. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry to all the live listening audience.
That's
this is
okay.
the
Yeah.
this is what happens with chilling out of order
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, he probably informs the professor of that whole thing. So I guess professor knows whatever happens at FPS minus probably a lot of the details.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell him shit. Ridiculous. But yeah,
All right,
so
so
that's how
not
that went.
well.
It's don't go get um that's what I was thinking. Yeah, okay, focus. Um yes, first, it's just been a lot of back-to-back things.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes sense. Well,
Uh, yes, but oh, Tome, I'm so sorry.
oh, not your fault. These
No.
things happen quite often, actually.
Mhm.
Wouldn't even be the first time. It's second. God, so many times. It's not the first time I've gone through something like this of back-to-back stuff.
That doesn't necessarily make it better.
Just makes me old, Professor.
That's my line.
Yes, well, I can say it too.
Hmm. He's Tome's passive insight is pretty high, right?
It's 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 isn't that 10 plus your insight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 22. The
Yeah.
passive.
Yeah. Professor is kind of shuffling slightly awkwardly because he is not sure if Tome is in the mood or the headspace for affection. But that is what he is thinking about.
Yes, you can do it, Professor. Come here.
Mhm. Yeah, he's going to give him a hug.
Tome hugs him back. I'm gonna get
Mhm.
one perception this time. Not insight, perception.
Okay, it's the same
Please,
modifier.
please, dice! This is your last chance, Professor!
Uh, is there anything I could use? No, I don't. I don't. He doesn't have these things that give him advantage, and he doesn't.
You do. From the block games.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Gallery.
You are so right. Okay. So I rolled two. Uh, that's difficult. Wait, so I rolled 2 dice. Now what?
Do the one you rolled first.
Okay. In that case, we have a total of 22.
Thank fuck. With the disadvantage being thrown away.
Because the other one would have been a 10.
Oh gosh, we were fighting for our fucking lives here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Um it's whenever you're hugging Tome
Mm,
that you ping something's wrong.
mhm.
Because Tome, although he is reluctant to affection, when he hugs you tight. Like
Yeah,
he's clinging to you.
usually.
There's none of that. It's simply arms around you. But that's not what you notice the most. Because that can just be Tome's a little tired, doesn't have the strength.
Maybe.
What you notice is Tome is very cold to the touch.
Mm. Mm. He sort of frowns a bit. Tome is a head taller than him. He may not even be able to see.
Yeah, no, you're getting a face full of sweater chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which should be really warm.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, absolutely it should.
Tome
Professor
wears
is,
like 50 layers.
yeah, he wears a lot of layers, and Professor's body temperature is unusually cold. This should not feel cold. Um, Usually this is the other way around.
Yeah. Tome is complaining about how cold Professor is.
hmm yeah, he kind of gets the sense like, oh, okay, he's letting me hug, but maybe he's not into it. And he notices, so he's not going to stay for long. He's not going to press the matter. But he does give him, um, a tight hug and, you know, tweaks that temperature, and he it's not immediate. It seems like he's just stepping away from the hug. But he has a furrow to his brows as he looks up at him.
Do you
You're
want me to carry that perception over for your sake?
Yes.
Open your voice, please. What were you saying though? Sorry.
Just brows furrowing as he looks up at him, and he was about to say something.
I will give you this because you would have seen it when you looked up.
Mhm.
Tome's eyes are completely gray, and there's little cracks in them.
Mm. Okay, let me see. Oh, cool. Okay, a 5. We're back to exhaustion. Um, that's a wit save. He startles, um, and looks very concerned. So,
Professor,
y- you're he's not sure what to say for a second. Um, he uh he goes to um dig into his pocket, and he takes out uh a little golden mirror, a little pocket mirror, um, and with a sort of fancy letter P on it. But he opens it up and he holds it up to Tom. Your eyes.
Tome. Sorry, I the way he said it, my brain went don't because he said your eyes, and I know it's eggs, but holy shit, my brain took me out with that one. I need a moment. Okay, I'm strong. I'm focused.
The
I'm
gag is
totally not used.
strong with these two.
I'm totally not coping with humor.
It's okay.
um, his eyes are weezer blue. Tome kind of looks at it and frowns. That's not normal.
No, Tom, I don't, I don't think you're okay. You're quite cold. Do you feel cold?
No. To be honest, I don't really feel much, but I figured that was just the exhaustion.
That's not good.
I agree.
He kind of gives him a slightly frustrated look, like fucking understatement. Like,
Sorry. I greatly agree.
don't. He's just kind of looking at him. He's concerned, and he doesn't know what to do with this.
Tome is looking back, blinking.
Oh, blast! It's not like I can have you go see.
No, Crystal is not doing
No,
well.
no.
I could probably take myself to just a normal hospital.
Would you?
Things that are concerning. Tome hates hospitals.
Yeah, no.
Tome just
He twigged that. But would you?
Well, this is important, is it not? Why shouldn't I?
Uh,
So sorry, Professor.
I I don't want to reinforce that, but didn't I thought you didn't like.
I don't. The medical costs are high, and well, that was the main reason. But I could always ask my friends for help, could I not?
Okay. Well, are you? Is this? You're not. I don't think you're playing a game with me.
I'm afraid not. I'm just being honest, Professor. That's and his brows kind of furrow. That's not like me.
No, 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 dear.
Normally,
Usually, that's not something that occurs to you. At least not at first.
I'm normally too scared.
Uh,
Huh. It seems without the fear, I don't have those inhibitions anymore. Interesting.
what you what aren't experiencing? I mean, well, gods, the words for emotions are so plain and common.
I love Professor.
I'm sorry, you're not experiencing fear at all.
No. Weird.
That's
Especially considering me.
uh yes. Also dangerous. It's
Well, I know what's a bad idea.
well, that's something.
That has not changed.
Okay, I'm
Actually,
all right.
easier
Look,
to figure out what is, what isn't.
okay, all right. For my sake, can you please sit down?
Sure. And Tome walks towards the his bedroom area, and I'll grab this again.
Hmm.
Because the only chairs are actually in the main room, and
Mm.
he goes through a little curtain that's on the opposite side of the hallway you entered.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
it
It
was
is pretty.
and he takes a little seat in his chair next to the computer monitors,
Mhm.
and then just kind of looks up at Professor.
Okay. Professor doesn't want to go too far, but he's so confused. He is going to go to the couch and sit down.
Tome looks at them. They're not too far apart, maybe 2 or 3 feet away from each other, and they're facing each other now.
Uh-huh. Okay. Tome, I'm very worried about you.
I can understand that.
Okay.
I think I am worried too,
Uh-huh.
or I should be.
I think that would be the appropriate reaction, yes. But if you're not experiencing it, then well.
It's I'm pinging myself as I should be worried, but I don't have the fear or nausea that normally comes with it.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Okay. He just kind of puts his head in his hand. He's thinking. His eyes are wide and just like going from spot to spot as he's uh, trying to figure out what this is, what to do with it.
I don't
Uh,
mean to make this worse, but Tome just handed me something that's so innocent, but dear goodness, it is so much
uh-huh.
worse.
Yeah.
Tome's gonna watch him kind of sit there for a bit and it's like, if you don't plan on checking on me, could I at least walk around the room some?
Uh, did, uh, sure. I,
Thank you.
sorry, should I?
No, it's you take your time. You need it. And Tome stands up and he starts moving to pick up his room.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You see why I was like, Tome, honey.
And before it had been like, a comfortable mess.
Yeah. Now it's a
Those
put
have
things up.
places to go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Okay. Uh, yeah, Professor's freaking out a little bit. Um,
Professor Voice, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck?
yeah, he did get a whiz save 5.
Yeah, poor guy.
Uh, he, um, uh, eventually, uh, he can't watch Tome walk around and also and sit still himself. He he gets up and uh, taps his foot kind of agitatedly. Um,
Tome looks up at the sound and stops.
what?
You're upset.
Uh, a bit. I'm. I think this is my fault.
I don't think so. Tome's kind of quiet for a moment before he says that.
I'm not so sure.
I can't ping anything that was necessarily corresponds to just your behavior resulting in this. In fact, it is most likely the result of a multiple of behaviors and actions all piling up together, which would have this result. And such, it cannot be your fault because in so would have to blame a wide variety of people, which becomes much too of an hassle. So it's much easier just say that these things do happen. Blaming ourselves will do nothing for this.
That's unusually insightful, but
I do think things. I
of
just
course you do.
don't
No,
say them often.
yes, that's why I didn't expect you to spit that out.
Ah.
At least not right away, not the first ask. Okay, all right.
No point in beating around the bush, is there?
He kind of gives him a look like you'd be fucking kidding. No point beating around the bush.
Tome voice, not Tome voice, Professor voice. I'm supposed to be the blunt one.
Okay, well, if you're willing to accept that fact, then I'll try.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That said,
I believe that makes me happy.
okay, all right, then I'll try more. Gonna be interesting trying to convince the others. They're not as, say, dryly logical as you are in this moment.
To be honest, Professor, they're about as easy to handle as you are. If I can get you to calm down, I'll be able to get them to calm down. In fact, I would argue that you can be more emotional sometimes. Sometimes being the key part. However, I have seen you at many of your craziest points, including just now where you were tapping your foot and pacing. Well, not pacing per se, but you were pulling at your hair earlier, which is a sign of major distress when it comes to you.
Yeah, I think he had started to reach up to do it again and stops and puts his hand down, looking slightly frustrated.
Professor.
Called out.
When your friend pays attention to you so much, he learns your nervous habits so he can help.
Yeah, the thing is, he usually doesn't like explain them out loud. When he does it, he usually just does it, like acts on it. So hearing the explanation, Prof is like, "Grr."
Professor Voice, how dare you call me out?
Okay, okay, okay. Um, okay, okay. Not blaming myself. Not blaming myself. That
Correct.
said, okay. That said, I am worried about you being in this state. Um,
Understandable.
I
How do
don't.
you think we should proceed?
It's a good question.
We shouldn't linger too much on this. Your situation is a bit more dire, pun not intended for the companion.
Yeah, yes. We can, if we can focus on that first. Um, don't think I'm gonna be completely letting this go.
I do
But
not expect you to, and I would hope you would not.
okay. Uh, it's probably the next thing on the list. But yeah, you're right. Time limit. Um, you said he would try to come back. I, I, as soon as he could. Obviously, it's been over 24 hours now, but
So we
I,
simply must wait.
I did not expect All right. He sort of shakes his head like, okay, he didn't expect Tome to take that stance, but he is. Um, uh,
It is
I,
best we then just simply prepare for it so that once it does happen, we may act almost instantaneously.
okay. Yes. Yes. We
Jubilee and
can,
I have gone to the ink space before. We have a good understanding of how to get there. Crystal, you said, most likely has the ink.
right.
We have all the materials needed for the preparation as long as Jubilee is able to find the location.
Mm,
We simply need to prepare it. Forgive me again for my outburst earlier. I was caught up in the moment.
he tilts his head a second. Which one is he referring to?
The anger one.
Oh, him getting pissed at him and not doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Uh,
saying that there was no plan anymore.
mhm, mhm. Yeah. It takes a second to register, but he nods. That's all right. Uh, you were angry, and so was I. But you're both
Yeah.
angry at me.
And
Um,
neither of us can be blamed for that. All that matters is that we move on from it and we make sure not to carry this anger forward.
yes. Okay. Tome, I don't know if you're going to be able to do cases like this.
I believe I will be able to, just not in the same way I used to. I will have to follow a more logical point of view. Normally, I solve cases through an emotional introspection, as you have pointed out, attempting to see problems from the other way around. Although that has caused me problems in the other past with other detectives, it has been my main way. However, I have taken notes regarding how to do it the same way others do, where it's a more logical approach, without my emotions to get in the way and sort of
Oh, stars.
hinder it, then I wasn't able to do this. This is not saying that I think we should not get my emotions back. I understand that this is a bad situation and should be fixed as clearly. However, I am stating that we should not treat it as an end all situation. Doing
No,
so will only hinder our progression. Cases
no.
are important. They keep me busy, they keep me distracted, and they also
Okay.
help bring in income.
Okay. All right. I. All right. I need a second opinion. I think I'm not. I don't know if I can make it clear.
Understandable. You are
I
in a very high moment of distress right now. It would make sense you're unable to make a clear decision.
thank you.
I myself would not even make a good second opinion, as I am in a moment of lack of distress, or perhaps high distress, perhaps both.
Quite. Maybe we can ask Maria for advice on that. She's
That would be good.
just good at keeping a clear head. Um.
He is.
Okay. All right. So whether or not you go back to work as normal, or maybe perhaps get a slightly altered work. You're part of the union. You could probably arrange for something where you have a few mm, uh, remote cases, something that's
That would
all
be good.
paperwork
This
that
way I
just
wouldn't
needs
have.
to be worked out.
That would make sense. I would not have to be worried about actual emotion involvement, and especially more heightened emotions. By reviewing the cases from an outside perspective, it will allow me to be able to review the facts without having to worry about my own value as a detective being placed in possibility due to the. He wouldn't have stuttered, by the way. That's me
Mhm,
braining.
mhm,
I'm trying to. The problem is Tobe actually is really fucking smart, and
mhm,
normally his
mhm, mhm,
emotions just get in the way. And now I have to fucking translate him what is actually going on in his brain most of the time.
mhm.
This is a fucking experience for me.
God.
I would be able to. The runs on Are You Breathing? It's a spec core, actually. Well, I simply will just be able to view this. I'm getting bullied out of the gallery again. Listen, I spent so long with Tome as a Pritch, follower mechanically that I've trained myself when I'm playing Tome to be in the gallery. Anyways, in that case, without my value as a detective being put up for question.
Of
Perhaps if
course.
you are so concerned, it'd be a good idea for me to review cases that other detectives are already on. This way I can simply perform an outside ideal, and then we will not have to worry about if any of my lack of insight will have a hindrance on the case. I admit that even though I believe I'd be able to solve the cases normally, I am not clear in mind to be able to give an actual description on my own capabilities.
All right. Okay. First of all, not putting your ability as a detective in question at all. I would never. But
Oh, yes, I said detective. Huh.
what?
I will have to pierce that back later.
Oh dear. Private investigator.
No, no,
Any.
no, I said detective first. This is not on you.
All right. Okay, but admittedly, it was less about your ability to solve a case than I mean that is a concern. But then the trouble you might get yourself in if you interact with um well uh, criminals and some of the
Makes
law
sense.
enforcement, and the suspects sometimes are not very cooperative and especially not very logical. You could really
Uh,
put them off, and I wouldn't want you to get yourself hurt like that.
that is smart. I will definitely not be taking any in-person cases then. If you are so concerned about me taking cases, although I do not see how it would be too much of a hindrance, especially if I do follow your idea of using outside cases, I will not take any cases.
I'm not suggesting that. If you think that taking some cases would be beneficial, then please do.
Okay. I would like to not get behind when it comes to payments for rent.
Okay. If that's if that is ever a concern.
I understand. I can ask you. It has not been. Rich has been very helpful, and also I have been very good at negotiating rent.
All right.
By that I mean I have threatened the landlord.
So, what does that mean?
Tom doesn't even blink as he says that.
I'm sorry.
This is Spec making up lore on the fly, but what Tobe handed me as an answer is the funniest shit to me.
Oh my
The
goodness.
landlord does not wish for me to get on his bad side. Or correction, the landlord does not want to end up on my bad side. So he has agreed to not raise the rent for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
I know information about his personal life that his wife would not like to know.
Oh, all right. He just sort of shakes his head, like, okay, shake that off. Okay, all right, okay.
I love Tome. He can be genuinely terrifying sometimes
Oh
when you
yeah.
have a crazy observant person on your hands.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so that's your professional sort of end of things settled. Um, More or less.
Also, we can start wrapping up if you want.
Yes, yes, we do need to.
Yes. We jinxed it. Anyway.
Yeah, no, we're good. We actually have uh we
30
actually
minutes.
have yes. But yeah, he just sort of like, okay, you um even if you're working on remote cases, I Okay. In this state, I do, if I'm reading it right, I suspect that maybe you'll be um better about getting sleep and food when you need to.
Very likely. Even if I forget, I can set timers.
Smart. All right. Would it he reaches again to try and pull at his hair and stops himself.
I would
Um
recommend if you're trying to tug at something for the sake of comfort, I'd recommend your sleeves. I find that works much better than tugging at the hair. Tugging at the hair can cause more stress due to the pain it puts on your skull, especially due to the fact that you're real kind and your nerves are, in fact, not saved by any sort of tune, logic, or funny.
yeah.
Your coat, however, does not have nerves.
Um I
Well, not coat, scarf, sleeves, fuck, shit.
you're cool, you're cool, you're cool, you're cool.
He would have said sleeves, he would not have said coat. I
Yeah.
spec for
You said sleeves the first time.
Okay,
You
I was
yeah.
on track and then I
Yes.
lost the train.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a significant design element that recently got removed.
Yeah.
um yeah. He uh he does kind of um start to with that same hand start to sort of like uh worry at his like cuff with his hands. uh, would it be all right if I uh checked on you?
Of course. Whatever you feel would be best for both my well-being and your own.
Okay. This feels bad. This feels like talking to um the servant.
I can see that. That increases the fact that this is concerning, yes.
Are you able to
I can
def-
disobey things if that's what you're requesting.
it's not what I'm requesting, it's what I am trying to determine.
Yes, I can do things quite against what you wish. However, everything you have brought up so far is logical, and as such, I have no reason to. However, if you were to instruct me to do something highly illogical, I would not do it.
All right. That's some
This does not mean tell me to
constellation.
do something illogical.
No, I don't.
I would rather not my theory be proven incorrect. However, due to the fact that I do not have any outside puppet strings and rather mine seems to be a result of emotional distress, I do not see any way that I could be in the same situation as a servant.
Mhm. Okay, just checking. I mean, that's you don't need an external force to sort of lose a grip on your own will.
I believe
Okay,
I still have my will.
yeah.
If anything, I do still have the promise. However, I still have the will. I can tell that much.
Mm.
My
Okay,
logic is guided in a sense towards my own self-preservation and enjoyment.
that's good.
That cannot come solely from the promise and must rather instead come from my internal will and wishes.
That's that's good. Okay,
Exactly.
I think I need
You need some
uh
time.
I yeah,
Would you like some tea for your trip back?
please.
Of course. And Tome walks back towards the room and gets a um little cup and puts a little lid on it. Here, you may return it next time we meet up with each other. Considering the level of your concern and the Euro situation, I expect that to be soon. You do not need
Mhm.
to wash it, however, I would highly appreciate if you wash it before returning it to me.
I'll wash it.
Thank you.
Uh he he he's kind of slouched. He's so tired. Um
Professor, I would highly recommend you talk to someone for your own mental health being. You seem to have this already weighing upon you, along with the other facts. Due to the amount of anger you had towards yourself beforehand, I expect that you are not in the best mental state already. I am highly sorry for this inflicting this upon you. However, I do know for the fact that I had no control over this, and as such, it is not my fault. That does not mean, though, that you are not handling this not well. I'd recommend talking to someone, whether it be a therapist or a friend.
Thank you for the suggestion. You're correct.
You're welcome.
I think I will take your advice after I rest.
Good. Make sure you get sleep. It will help,
Yes.
not only with you thinking, but also your emotions.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course.
He's
Okay. I have to explain something to the gallery later, but continue.
all right. He thinks he can, and he's pretty sure that Tome will refuse if he doesn't want to. But he is going to uh, telegraph a hug.
Tome takes it.
All right.
The professor gets the exact same feeling down to the carbon copy telegraph.
Down to the what?
Down to like what the professor gets back in a sort of return hug is like the exact same hug that was sent towards him. There's no individualization in
Well,
it. It is a repeat.
yeah. All right. Yeah. He just he gives him a hug, and just sort of taps his shoulder. Keep an eye on your temperature, would you? I don't. Um.
I will. I'll make sure to go visit a hospital.
Uh.
Would you
All
like me
right.
to update you on whatever the report is?
Uh. Are you sure you wouldn't regret that later?
Even if I did, it would be a logical regret.
Mm,
I will
y-
hopefully grow out of it by the event not within long, and then it will not be a problem.
mm,
Professor, we cannot do things out of fear of what the future may hold. We may only simply act in the present.
uh,
If we always do things fearing the consequences, well, then we will never get anywhere, for a million things can go wrong. While yes, it is good to think of how consequences may behave, we should not dictate our actions solely on those. Sometimes the present is more important, if not just as important, as the future.
you sound like a fortune cookie.
I do eat a lot of takeout.
Oh my goodness.
I love how Tome does have natural humor and it does get to show through at least.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. You know what? Ask Moria first. She probably knows better if it'd be a good idea, for you to go to hospital. If
Is there
she
anybody
thinks,
else I should probably speak to as well?
about this, uh, uh, your sons,
That would make
um,
sense.
uh, and daughter,
That would also make sense. I could send them a message later after we have spoken.
yeah, I, yeah, if they ask for, an explanation from me, you can forward them to me.
If you wish, I will make sure they are not too harsh on you.
Appreciated.
Of course. You are my friend after all.
Thank you. Okay, I think I need to go before.
Do take your
Yeah.
tea. Please remember to wash the cup. And
Mhm.
I would tell you not to stress. However, we both know you're not going to do that. Instead, let us just focus on what we can handle now. This seems to be causing no immediate danger to myself. As such, we can handle it once we have the time to give it our thorough attention.
Yeah. Okay. See you.
See you. Oh, and don't tell the landlord that I shared his
No.
situation, please.
No, of
Thank you.
course not. No.
I do enjoy having that at least above him.
All right. He's gonna give him a tired but slightly stressed but genuine smile uh and make his way out. Because oh my goodness, he is pretty sure that if he stays much longer, he's
He's gonna
not
lose it.
he's gonna
He's gonna
lose
lose
it.
it.
Yeah,
He's gonna lose it.
yeah, absolutely. He's like, all right, we've already had one mental health crisis today. We had one big one yesterday. We don't need another right now.
Professor Royce, I can't fucking take this shit anymore. All right. Well, that seems like it's a wrap then.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Ah,
thank you to our future listeners and our current listeners.
mhm,
It's been a time.
mhm. This sure went.
This sure went.
Thank you so much for running this with me.
Thank you so much for doing this with me. Well, bye-bye.
Bye.